So, boop.
I am always.
Oops, I'll grab the link for you all so you can see where it is. Boop. I don't have to do it anywhere else.
Yep, and or not, I'll throw it to squad.
Lots of people checking out the VOD, actually, both on Twitch and some people starting to look into YouTube as well. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
So, that's encouraging. Not just for me, but also for, like, the Fabula Ultima. It's like, yay, it's content for Fabula Ultima so people know what the game's like.
I think their server has a place for posting streams. I'd have to double check, but
yeah, I think I'm gonna post the when we have a few episodes in the
can.
pipeline. I'll link to the playlist because I think it's more of a, rather than a weekly shout out, it's a, hey, here's the thing I'm doing. It's
and we do it once a week.
Yeah. Okay. That in front of me.
I am hearing an echo.
Probably a slight
I think
echo
that's
from
what-
Tenzek.
Oh, is it me?
Is it?
I don't
No, I
think
it's Orna.
so.
What is up with my audio? Oh, the local microphone mute doesn't work on this laptop. Okay, good to know. It just cycles the audio back. That's weird. Okay. Note to self, Discord mute only.
Neat.
Well, now that we've gotten that mechanical blunder out of the way for me, time to explode.
True. With that, hello everyone, I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and today we are playing our second episode of Fabula Ultima, the castle that would pierce the horizon. As we are following some adventurers who have found their way into an alabaster tower, looking into the ruins of a precursor civilization. But first, Lament of Witchlight Tower. In our tower, stark and exposed to the relentless sun's gaze, forged in the crucible of brilliance, bathed in blinding rays, cords of copper, tin, and crystal intertwined, breathed life into beings, both large and confined. Machinery, a testament to our arcane art, soldiers molded, souls stitched, a life to impart. In the dance of gears, our future seemed secure, yet unforeseen consequences would endure. Witches of light, we harnessed the Vismagus power, infused it into the gears, our creation to empower. But as the gears turned, souls trapped within cried, endless screams and screeches, chorus of the denied. Promised peace eluded, our sentinels turned to slay, the cost of our ambition, a heavy toll to pay. Wails echoed throughout the tower, a falling and failed design. Yet, with the spirits rising, we sought redemption's sign. In our lament, a reminder etched in the air of what we attempted, what we did, and the despair. A cautionary tale, a plea to remember well the consequences of ambitions where shadows dwell. Remember the attempt to play with life's strands. Remember the deeds, the outcomes, the demands. In the echo of our sorrow, a lesson to construe. Beware the paths that lead to what we once knew. And on that happy note, oops, I grabbed the wrong thing.
Is this no place of honor? I say out of character. My character doesn't know the difference. I see shiny.
Is he shiny?
You all ascend across the stairway, the spiral staircase, and into this glimmering, shining hall. And here in its confines, you can see dancing lights across the floor, beaming energy seeming to emanate from every surface, from the floor, the ceiling, and the walls. Out from this place are 3 portals, glowing in their light. And, standing sentinel, is some sort of clockwork automata that is familiar to the tinker Zevin, although not because it does appear similar to those that you may have seen elsewhere in your empire, your sultanate, but it is a very rudimentary and older precursor, if you will, to what the tech that you know.
Oh, I see how it is. Oh, don't beat us to the punch. No, it couldn't be. Nah,
Is it like clearly an automaton?
Yep.
Okay.
You can see.
I wonder what it's powered by.
You can see in its hand a war axe, and its plating glimmers with bronze. And you can hear the faint whir, click, click, click coming from it as it kind of shimmies. It doesn't move towards you, but you can see its body kind of bobbing a little bit. Like it's active.
Well, whatever it is, I don't plan on getting too close to it.
All right. Did someone beat us to the punch? You. All right, you. State your ID number. What's your model unit?
You state your command. It does not answer. You can provide for me a roll. I will say on my end, insight. Insight.
Lucius leans over to Moore and says, I don't think it likes her.
I guess that insight and willpower.
I'll take, certainly.
So my best stat and my worst stat. Here we go.
Okay.
10.
Oh, you rolled a 10 on your D10.
That's 1 crit.
Yay.
Hey
That's
Siri.
You are able, you say the words, and at first it doesn't respond. Then you remember that there was a sort of troubleshooting phrase that you would use. You probably don't know what it strictly translates to, but you know it's a precursor word. It's one of the old words used when fixing old ruins or machinery. Definitely, I think a tinker would know from your realm. And you're able to kind of repeat the command roughly. Again, you don't speak the language, but you know enough of it.
It's
And
heavily accented.
and it will respond to you. Translate what's going on. I didn't think anyone was going to talk to the darn thing. How dare you talk to things in this world? You're supposed to be murder hobos and kill everything.
No, thank you.
Look, I can do both. It depends on the order.
I'm here to destroy Captain Planet. No. It replies, Sto memenisi. of a robotic voice.
Did you catch that? I didn't quite catch that.
I didn't get a word of that.
Alexander murmurs quietly as his eyes burn red and his hand clutches tightly his sword. He murmurs, "I stand to remember."
Oh.
There. Hmm.
Interesting. I didn't know you understand this language.
Alexander's gaze stays steady on the automata across from him, and he just kind of twirls his blade as if he's kind of getting ready to fight, but he's standing ready to stride across the room and smash it to pieces. But he doesn't. He seems to be just watching, waiting, much like it is. It's almost like he's not here. His mind seems
Wow.
elsewhere.
Lucius will sort of, he'll turn his head to the side and look at these things. What are he won't approach it, of course, but like, what are those?
They seem to be glass hemispheres that jut out from the walls and glow with an ethereal light.
I will wander over closer to one.
Which one?
I like blue, so blue one, arbitrarily.
As you get very close to it, it kind of the glass slides away into the metal beams, and the metal beams retract into the ring, and you see a hallway leading forward.
Oh, but are you sure
Found the
that's a
door.
good idea?
What's in the hallway?
A hall of gleaming white, and a faint bluish light further on.
Neat. Wonder if the other one's also a door. I will step away from the blue one.
It whirs its shuff closed in reverse, with a loud ting noise as the glass snaps into place.
Let's see.
Seven is currently lost in thought if you'd like to explore. Arms folded, kind of one hand on their chin. Just kind of, if I remember what. Did they leave the stove on or something? I probably want to end an empire. You two found anything yet? 3.
Door.
Oh.
And then I move forward and demonstrate the door again.
It whirs open.
All right. You know what? Sure. Onwards to adventures and riches and knowledge. Maybe not.
I'll
not
step
order,
into the hallway.
You feel as if you're stepping through a sheet of softly falling water. And when you're in the hall, the door remains open behind you as you look behind and you're standing in the illuminated hall.
Well, I'm not dead. guess I will advance a little further.
Lucius just sort of looks around and says, I'm not going in there. Who knows what's in there? Come on. And he like
All right,
looks
let the robot babysit you then.
Yeah, he looks between Alexander and the giant robot and he says, ah, and he goes running in to the door.
And into the hallways you wander. I'm gonna see. Now, in Fabula Ultima, you don't track you don't dungeon crawl per se. You don't track every corner and every turn. You have an interlude of traveling through the hallways, getting past things, unless there's some active danger. Instead, there is a travel roll that happens. You're wandering around the halls.
Oh yeah, because there's like a whole dungeon. There's like a dungeon crawl mechanic, right?
Sort of, but it abstracts it, so it kind of speeds it along. It's
Right.
a journey of
Like
another meaning. Except the danger level's a lot higher because you're in a dungeon.
It reminds me of Metopia.
I can't say I've played somehow.
So
It's very good.
alrighty. So
Okay. One
Oh,
is a
no.
discovery. So,
A good one or a bad one?
good one.
dope.
You wandered to a very
Okay.
similar looking chamber, although this time you notice that there is an absence of Alexander and the clockwork, as Alexander never left his post. And in this place, you find that in the glowing walls, many of the rooms look much the same as these ones. They seem very modular. Different things at different sorts. You can see what appear to be workshops and laboratories, glass enclosures that have been left and abandoned. You see not a soul, not a remain, not a burn mark, not a scorch mark, just emptiness and light.
Didn't we pass this room like 4 rooms ago?
A one room you come to, as if carved into the light that is the walls, you see countless tomes upon tomes upon tomes upon tomes, so on, all along the wall, or many stacks up with ladders that are set up like, you know, the ones you'd see in stacks for really tall libraries and stuff, that sort of ladder. All
Ooh,
in
book.
the books are the one thing that in this place that aren't some shade of blue or white.
Neat.
Do the books have any names on the spines, even if we can't understand the language?
I'll charge you. Oh wait, what are you, Lucius? Maybe one of your classes revokes me having to roll.
I do indeed have a class level in Lore Master.
Lore Master, you are able to, even on the stuff you don't know, there's some famous tomes you recognize, like hello Seagoat Games, hello, welcome to the stream. Lucius, you see that some of the tomes are things like the Analects of Good Government, the Spirits Within.
Ooh, the Analects of Good Government. This looks like a 2nd edition. These are rare.
And various other foundational tomes. Then there's later ones, but all of these are fairly old. Only a handful are in the lingua of Corstellum. Like, at some point, there's some very early Corstella lingua here or there. But you also see, on a glance, some of the Sultanate lingua or the Islander lingua. But it's very old. Think an old English version. It's old enough that you'd have to think about it real hard to understand what's being written, as opposed to the precursor text, which you know the titles, but you'd need a tome. You need a tome to sit there and
yeah, I need to find a dedicated translator.
Yeah.
The philosophical knowledge on these walls is incredible.
Words could not describe how much he liked those books. Let's give him a minute to reconnect.
Believe you me, a many great debate in the Coriostellum Grand Assembly might be assuaged by the exact words in some of these books.
I wonder. And I will open one of them that is in my language.
You see, it's written in a style similar to the bardic and skaldic methods, rhythm and rhyme and measure. Makes it easier to read and memorize the songs. Although you do see that these are written very much in a style that's more... It's someone who heard the songs and then wrote them down. This, because your older tongue is more of a oral tradition rather than a written one. But you see some old texts about the times of the Isle and the various tribes therein, and the struggles for what they fought for.
This is a history that predates the unification.
You even see
GM,
mention of it. Oh, go ahead.
Good. I can change the subject. Keep going.
I would say to tie up with Duncan, one thing that would have caught your eye is it does speak of a mystical stone upon which will unite the entire Isle and all beyond under the soon to be the future and forever king.
If I have any writing supplies, I'm going to copy this down because I don't want to take the book because it seems very old.
I'll say as a tinker, you're able to get some sketchings and stuff out. It's nothing to the level of a scrivener or anything, but it's enough for you to do notes.
Yeah, would I be able to I mean, what kind of condition are these books in? Like, do I get the impression that they'd crumble if I even so much as took them off the shelves?
They look as if time never moved. They are as fresh as the time they were set on their shelves by its librarian. These haven't aged a day.
Oh, neat.
Dearest GM,
Yes.
may I spend a Fabula point?
Depends on what you're spending it on, but most likely.
Give me a good book.
One moment. Checking notes, cause grab something.
The Fabula Ultima Dewey Decibel system is one head scratcher.
No, that's not what I want. Silly thing. Do it this way. No, not that way. Ah. Okay. Oh, come back. Thank you. You see a book. Oh, I know. You see a book that details the ley lines of the countless realms.
Ooh, that does seem interesting. Is this one of those books I need both hands to pull off the shelf? Is it that big?
It's big with like illustrations and within it and diagrams.
Ooh, is it like ledger sized?
Yeah, it's a big old honking book.
Encyclopedia sized.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Because as you flip through it, it covers the realms that you're familiar with and beyond the horizon.
I gotta carefully with both hands kind of leverage it off the shelf, kind of almost tip back and regain balance, and then kind of hit the ground and go. It hits the ground with like a thump. Very satisfying, heavy noise. Yeah, start digging through it. Oi, you two, weepy boy. Nice girl. Come on. Here. Find something good.
Creepy.
Oops.
Watch who you're. Do you know who you are speaking to?
Nah. Boy, doesn't look like he's held a weapon before in his life until today.
That is accurate.
Well, at least you can agree on one thing.
However, you will not order me around.
Oh. And why is that, your lordship?
Because I am Lucius Avantus, scion of the great house of Avantus. I do not take orders.
What if I ordered you to not take orders? Or not ordered you to take orders? This logic puzzle looked better in my head.
Well, that would be a logical fallacy.
Sure, you heard all about those kind of things at your fancy academy.
Why, yes, in fact. I had only the best tutors in philosophy. In fact, I'm willing to bet that my philosophy education is worth more zenith than you've seen in your entire life.
You keep telling yourself that, boyo.
So, what did you want us to look at?
This. Oh, this heavy cover. Okay. Behold, the ley lines of the countless realms. Now, the old train lines only go out here, Scar to this little itty bitty border city right there. Right there. And then after that, it's messy, but these under the surface everywhere. All over the place. And right hand. This book could be, well, worth an awful lot of knowledge and also zenith. I don't think I've ever seen a book like this. Also, a book with such nice paper. Wow.
You'll note that the ley line, a good chunk of the ley line, actually all the ley lines, rather, other way to do it, every rail that's ever been laid follow the ley lines. Like it just jumps out at you as you're looking at them. It's just that obvious to you.
Ain't that fascinating? Did your prize-winning academy training teach you about this? Hmm?
Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
He just sort of pouts.
What makes it so special then?
And he just sort of goes over to the book that he'd taken off the shelf, you know, opens it, and he just sort of goes grumble grumble, and he just starts reading his book. It's upside down. Because he's more interested in the appearance of being grumble grumble than actually reading the book. Yeah, but eventually he'll put a few of the books in that he could find in his home language, and put them in his bag. Because hey, if he transcribes some of those, and then is able to like return the originals to Coriastellum, to the libraries there, that'd be a cultural find, and that'd be worthy of praise.
This is true.
So he'll grab a few books in that language, in the Coriastellum home language. I don't know how many he can reasonably carry.
Roll for me your might plus might would be my suggestion.
Wonderful. My might plus my might.
Roll 2 nat 1s.
Though that said,
roll
given
2
the
nat 1s. Roll 2 nat 1s.
given the optional rule, I do say might, but you can invoke something else because I only invoke half the roll.
Uh-huh.
Unless it's prescribed in the book what it is, like a spell or an attack.
Ooh. I could reckon insight, and I'm arguing that on the grounds that I'm being careful which books I take. I'm not just grabbing the heftiest tomes I can find. I'm picking ones that I think, okay, I can carry this one, I can carry this one, I can carry this one. Like, I'm trying to maximize the efficiency of the books that I'm gathering, as opposed to just grabbing the biggest, fanciest ones.
Very well.
I still have to roll might, though.
Yes.
That sucks.
Roll 2
That's
nat
just-
1s. Roll 2 nat 1s.
You are in fact the beginning of the end of the world. No. Summoning of the lava monster. Wait, what? Reading this will make him get stronger. Damn it.
Removing books from this room invokes the librarian.
8 and
Hey,
2.
that's...
Close enough.
Well, you say you're able to get 10 folios all told. No great tome or nothing, but 10 books you're able to kind of stuff into your bag. And you're a lore master, so you probably have like a dedicated like book bag on top of your regular travel stuff.
Yep.
Because a lore master never knows when they're going to find a book they want to take with them.
Yep. Precisely. Well, I'll have Vibius and Umbrenius help me transcribe these later.
Well, that's right. They should be with you. My bad. Sorry. Hold on.
I figure that they're probably still at the train.
Oh, okay. Very well.
That's how I'm justifying them not being here. I told them to guard the train.
Very good.
Then again, we might always turn around and have them reappear behind us, Watson style.
Yeah.
That one computer game.
Just perpetually.
absolutely.
How'd you get over there? How are you moving without me seeing you?
Just turned around.
They're like Slendermen. They only move when you're not looking.
Or the Weeping Angels.
Come on, we're not nerds. Now, carry on with your JRPG role-playing adventure.
Oi, you find something?
I believe Zevin is saying that to Moore.
Yep.
Oh. I found an interesting history.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And I will hold it up.
Keeping it for
It
yourself.
mentions
or-
something about a stone that's going to unite the lands under, what was it, the current and forever king?
The future and forever king.
Future and forever king, sorry.
See some sort of
So-
oblong-looking stone.
So he's gonna hit people
Listen.
with a rock.
Not sure. Just shows the stone. Does it say anything in the book about where that stone might be found or anything like that?
I would say insight for part of the roll.
Sure. Bear with me a moment.
Certainly.
I put it down in my. I put what I got down in my notes as 10 folios of early Coriastellum Republic academia treatises.
That's a fair description.
Sorry, pardon me on.
It's okay.
Where is my... Come on, sheet. Open, please.
And this will be more of an open check. The better you get, the more information I'll reveal.
You know, I'd be fine with insight because I'm kind of trying to read into the text.
Hmm.
It makes sense to me. So. Aw. Well, 6 isn't terrible.
It is suggesting that it lies in the area known to you as the Scablands.
Oh.
They don't
Neat.
call it that in the book, but you recognize what they're when they describe this and that and the other. You're a person of the Isles. You know what that what they're talking about. It's just they didn't call it the Scablands back then.
Very cool.
You'll have to go to the planet Zeist. Find it.
All right. How many technological blueprints can I fit in along with this tome? Bag.
Might's part of it.
Definitely might. I'm gonna say might and might.
Okay.
Force of strength.
Find the biggest, heaviest books with the most diagrams.
Oh.
You find 4.
Hey, you got the tome of the ley lines. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, for the tome in your notes, put this. You can notate that it's a discovery. Oh, sorry, it's a not discovery. It's a Fabula book, which that matters to me for later. If you invoke it, I'll know that means it's
Okay.
a special book.
Fabula book. Ooh.
Yeah, you're able to find a few books. I mean, they're pretty darn heavy, but The good thing is that they should be chock full of diagrams. These should be useful for projects in the future.
Yeah. I can copy some of them and sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps. But the originals are too expensive. No. They're mine. All mine.
Precious. No, wrong game.
Well, I'm checking these books out, and the lending policy is forever. You guys found something? All right, I'm gonna get going.
Yeah, we can get going.
Suppose I'll allow it.
Like, and if anyone in this tower's hearing it, which I doubt, but could be possible. I'm not stealing. I'm just borrowing it, and I might not give it back.
The walls
might also-
glow. The silence remains. Not but you three. The books that remain.
Let's go! And Lucius just strides on forward.
Anything the three of you are hoping to find in your journeys throughout the tower?
Well, this is your expertise, since you clearly know so much more than my paltry education.
So Betty.
Well, biggest bang for our buck would probably be power cores, but they're really rare to find. I don't really know how they work, and I think if we remove them from here, things are gonna go a little wonky. So that's a maybe. Otherwise, we got books. Mine are a bit too valuable to put on the black market or anything. Technological parts, scholars. I want to clear out the best stuff first before anyone else figures this place exists.
Eventually, you find yourself having looped around back to the way you came. But largely, you see various other rooms. It seems this floor, having now pervaded and explored it, is largely a room of reference and lower tier workshops and elements. It's the sort of place that Zevin likely saw in a much more modern sense. This is the sort of floor you would have been on. Just with a precursor trapping.
Yes. Also, since we've made 2 travel rolls so far, yes?
Yes.
I can invoke my class feature and get back 2 IP total.
Very good. What's the ability called, out of curiosity?
Resourceful.
Oh,
Rank 1.
so you're probably, like, that could be useful for later. Hey, look, a potion bottle, Yeah.
We walk past like a counter. I scrape a little bit of scrap metal off there. I just kind of pick something off the wall. No one will miss it, right?
Who's here to miss it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, ooh, those metal filings. When you oxidize those with the right chemicals, it goes boom.
The automata and Alexander stand sentinel.
Lucius just walks into the middle of the room and just looks around and says, "We just went in a giant circle."
It is a tower.
I was about to say that. Oh, dearest GM.
Uh,
For someone who has so much fancy schooling, you sure don't know a lot of geometry.
I'll have you know that I got top marks in geometry. Oh, these three are great.
Flashback to him drawing in sand at the tender age of 4.
You can learn what a circle is eventually. Wait, Alex, did Ben said anything yet? Yeah? How can I knock my hand against it?
Its head turns and its light beams at you like a soft flashlight.
She didn't mean it. She didn't mean it.
Its light shines on Lucius.
Oh no,
old
a flashlight.
Shield.
Oh no. Oh no.
Lucius just calmly, slowly steps back.
It's like ticking noise as it's sitting there processing.
And so, what's behind it is my question.
A door, a light in white.
It's another door, and probably the one we need to get through.
I'll actually note that as you explored the rest of this floor, you went through either a blue door or a gold door. You never went through a white door. All the other white doors didn't respond when you moved up to them. So you never went into the center of the tower.
Ow. Yeah, that tracks.
Geography's starting to make sense to you?
Just seeds.
It turns its head and looks at Seven and shines a light on you. Its body doesn't turn like a human's would, like, you know how you would turn your shoulders and look at someone at your side? This thing's head just pivots.
So, how do we deal with it?
Well, I think he's guarding it.
You don't say!
There's gotta be something good back there.
Well, yes, that typically tends to be why... That tends to be why guards stand outside doors. Why do you think guards stand outside my door?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Anyways.
Meanwhile,
Look at one of
Alexander's
us.
just there in the background like, why me? Just why me?
Staring unrelentingly, ready to fight at a moment's notice. As if he has nothing but armor and sword. Automata in his own right.
Ugh.
No, none of you? Okay. Alright.
Look, big, creepy robot things aren't really what I studied.
Question, GM.
Yes.
Does this robot count as a soldier class construct?
I would say so, yeah.
Well, I have something that might work. To get him to step aside.
You,
I have the Magitech Override.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
It is in my class for Tinkerer, under the gadget section.
Oh,
Magitech.
No. Oh no.
And I spend an action and plus 10 MP for an opposed insight check against a nearby construct I can see. If I succeed, I gain control of the creature until the end of the scene.
Huh. I guess I roll insight. I have to grab his stats. Neat. Hopefully this works.
Otherwise, we are going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, it won't be that bad, right? Oh, but it had to be soldier class. If it was like a champion or something, it would be different.
Yeah, I can't mind control the boss or say, you know,
I am the final
perhaps
showdown.
suplex the train.
Insight. Ooh, undercut the entirety of a boss fight. That's funny.
Insight.
Where are you? Oh, you know what? It helps if I look in the construct part of the book. That's what smart GM would do.
Ooh, 13. That's pretty good.
Unlucky 13.
10.
Not bad.
I failed.
So it'll kind of bait one of the other party members a little closer. And you just stand over there, a little closer than me.
Who approaches closer?
And then,
More or Lucius?
Lucius is not.
Is more keeping a quiet distance, staring
More
into
you're
our
muted.
souls, including you, viewer. Look at those eyes. See you.
I'm currently trying to figure out what the mechanism of the glowing is.
So what do you do with your automatas, Evan, as they both seem to be either frightened or perplexed, or studious, I suppose, pensive?
Wonder if it's some sort of phosphorescence.
Well, as it looks to me, it's gonna look to me. I'm gonna get a little closer, and then kind of roll to one side, or grab the underneath its neck and kind of pull out some wires. There's some sparks. It struggles a little bit, then it stops. Aha! Ooh, it still has the old override.
Is it an override if you just yanked out the cables?
It just resets it for a little while.
I see.
I'm just gonna register it, and it should listen to me for a little bit. Of course, when it stops, we're gonna need to start running.
How long is a little bit?
Let's not find out. Let's go.
Do the three of you... Pardon me. Do the three of you scamper through the white portal?
Oh yeah, I guess we should.
Yes.
Lucius just kind of gives a wide berth around it, just going.
Don't
and
worry,
just kinda
it's
scoots
friendly.
around it.
It's friendly. It's friendly for now. It's friendly.
And as the three step through the portal, its glass enclosure shutting, the robotic voice, for a brief moment, as the override slips away. Terra nostra, nida est immutus solus of dies oculis, victor un eas fulgurus, vedis oblito profusa, unis cupri, sani, crystallini in texti, spiritabus vitae, intibus, magnus, angutis. And it was left alone to continue its guard, staring at Alexander, who is actually not there, who just apropos of nothing, followed after you.
Is that one of those little cardboard cutouts?
I'll ask Alexander what it said. I mean, he understood it last time, so.
Yeah, he's not even animated in this part of it. He's just like a cardboard cutout that like wobbles and follows behind us.
The glass enclosure, you're standing on a great wide platform of white, and as you step onto it, it ascends up into the tower with rapid speed. You do hear some of that, so Lucius, you can attempt to translate what you heard.
Oh, sure.
Insight for part of it.
I'll do insight. That insight works for me. I'll use the inspect roll. Oh, recall. Insight.
Yep.
So that's Yo.
Probably should get it, I imagine. How much of it does it get? Huh? Boop. Ba-doop. Boop.
So as you so 7 and more, as you look over to Lucius, you see that he's got he has like sort of writing pad in this sort of stylus looking pen that he's writing down with, and he finishes writing something, and then you see he writes something about similar length, but much slower because he seems to be taking a little bit more time thinking it over. Okay, I think I got it. In our tower, stark and exposed to the relentless sun's gaze, forged in the crucible of brilliance, bathed in blinding rays, cords of copper, tin, and crystal intertwined, breathed life into beings both large and confined. You know what? I gotta give it to them. Really impressive to make a poem that rhymes in both languages. That is not easy to do.
How do you get to writing so loopy like that?
Practice.
Huh.
You ascend into a new chamber and find yourself jutting out from the floor, and then you find yourself presented with a glowing checkerboard pattern. And doors, but a single door.
His writing is Curviostellum.
Curviostellum?
Yes, I know, that was dumb.
Cursivostellum?
Cursivostellum. In her towers. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So we see this checkerboard. What do the squares appear to be made of? If I had to venture a guess, I'm gonna assume that these reddish ones are made of copper and these light blue ones are like made of crystal.
That would be correct, yes.
And are like the lines between them tin?
Yep.
Ha. Okay. Huh.
And actually, as you move closer to the board, the whole room seems far larger. And for the rest of you, you see Lucius is far tinier.
Oh, cool.
Sure.
And Lucius looks back, and are they all large?
Yeah, they're giants now.
Whoa! How did you guys get so big?
It's more that you got small.
Return to normal size at this very instance. I command you.
He's like a little tiny chihuahua.
Try coming towards us.
Lucius attempts to come towards them.
Does he stay tiny? No. Interesting. Well, whatever it is reversible at least.
Lucius just sort of looks back towards the board, gets down onto the ground, and just sort of looks across it.
The floor feels warm.
Yeah, I got nothing.
You two?
I will walk over to that checkerboard.
Phew. You walk over to it and shrink. Or rather, everything around you enlarges from your perspective.
And I will try putting a toe onto one of the squares. Or putting a foot, rather. And then I jump back when that...
You see huge pillars dressed up in letters, repeated over and over and over. Made of... this size seems to be made entirely of copper. Stone obelisks marked in the letter, repeated over and over and over and over.
Are all made of copper?
Yep.
Lucius will approach.
Pew.
I wonder. And he'll walk around the board. Go to the other side. And touch his toe to this side. Nervously.
For a brief moment, a ghostly, lightish blue pillar appears before you, clad in the letter A, and you feel something shove you, and you stumble back out of the square.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the letter fades from view.
A.
As if there was no pillar there at all.
As he walks back over to this side. I don't get it. And he leans against this pillar right here.
It feels somewhat cool to the touch, but slowly warms the longer you're in contact with it. It's there. It's like you're leaning against a pillar that's taller than you are. An obelisk is tall, as wide across as you are, and twice, if not thrice, as tall as you.
Yeah.
Quite sturdy.
E-A-R-M-A. Huh.
You notice Alexander sheath his sword and he kind of folds his arms and just stares at the thing. Very frustrated that whatever it is in front of him, his abilities don't seem to be terribly relevant at the moment.
The two of us are looking back and forth. Like, is this? Why is there a bunch of things on a board? Is that some sort of game from another nation?
Do either of us recognize this as a game from either of our nations?
Insight would be part of it. And one person can assist the other if you like, or all of you. There could be one leader, multiple assists. The people assisting would be rolling the same roll. It's just that you'd be aiming for 10, and if you get it, you'd add +1 to the leader.
Yeah, I could take this. I've got a good insight.
I can
you can
assist.
take it. We'll assist. Yeah, we'll assist.
Cool.
How'd you know I was gonna call insight? Oh, I said insight.
Yeah, you said insight.
I did. Ooh, buddy. Sorry, I had a power flicker there for a second. I'm okay.
This is to assist.
And more?
Insight for you, and more to if you wish to assist those two in figuring out what the hell they're looking at.
Apologies, I was preoccupied with the lights turning brown temporarily.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just doing this myself then.
Yep. The more don't know this game, or if they do, they don't recall it.
That's a 12. That is a 12.
This looks like a game of tactics and strategy. It reminds you of the King's Game, a tactical simulation of a battle or war. Some say it's something that's more of the Sultanate of the Khanites thing. It's not really popular in the in Core Stellum yet, but you're aware of it because you've read up on games before.
Yeah, I mean, and those of us who are of the senatorial class are often, supposed to be versed in the tactics of various armies, and if that meant that I got to play a game, that all the better. I think I've seen this game before, at least the rules. So do I know what the meaning of the letters are in relation to the pillars?
Ooh, that roll.
Because
okay, yeah, I can tell. I can at least tell you what the letters. So that a competent person would know what these mean if they knew the game. Hold on.
that helps. That will help.
I clicked the wrong thing. Was I right the first time? I was. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Now to view more stuff. Boop. Oops, I missed one. 1 second.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's chess. I figured, but I was like,
Because it very well could have been
news,
something
guys.
else. You're right. There are various games that are played
Bad
on this kind
news,
of board.
guys. In real life, I've never played chess.
Yeah, I figured. I figured it's basically chess. I mean, different names, but yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Ah. He looks to this one, the Rex, the leader. I feel a strange kinship to this one, and he leans up against it.
It feels heavier than the other pieces somehow.
Because it's shiny like you.
I am not tiny. Well, yes, I am tiny right now, but that has nothing to do with it. And you just see that he's just sort of pacing back and forth, fuming and yelling and screaming, and he's like 2 feet. He's like 2 inches tall, like just pacing and fuming back and forth in front of you.
So what's the normal opening move for this game?
Probably. And he'll say out loud whatever like the notation is for moving one of these Perez forward 1 spot.
Which one to where?
I said this one
This one? Forward one?
to. Oh yeah, because I can use the ruler. Yes. Like that.
You say out the notation. And then you realize, wait, that sounds wrong. You say the notation and you look at the piece and then you think, wait, that's the wrong piece. These are the dark colored pieces you're looking at.
Wait, no, that's not right. We shouldn't be making the first move. Oh, wait.
So you need an opponent?
By the sounds of it. But I tried going to the other side and nothing happened.
All right, well, yeah, you stay there.
Oops. Pew. Alexander seems like a statue of death looming over the 3 of you. He steps back, realizing you're all very tiny, and he is in no way inclined to step on anybody.
No steppy.
All right. I'm gonna put a foot on here.
Put a foot there. You get shoved out. You see for a brief second an image of a column that feels incredibly bright and energetic. You almost feel tinglings at your fingertips, and you see it's covered in the letter R over and over and over, and you feel like you're shoved out of the square.
Even over here?
Yep. You notice that the pillar appears ghostly around you for a moment, and then you notice it solidify into being around you.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh,
You can't get out.
Because they couldn't move.
Uh-oh.
You're trying to move right, and dunk, you run into the wall.
Oh, I see.
Zoom in a little bit here, because we are pretty far.
Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. And Lucius runs back around to the other side of the board. I think, and he steps onto this one.
Okay. As you step into that one, Zevin, you take 10 damage as you're shunted out of your piece.
No.
As it all of a sudden, it's like a lightning crack zaps Zevin and then flings you out of the piece off the board. And then a pillar appears around Lucius, written with the letter P over and over and over.
I think it's one move per turn.
Oh, sorry. And he just turns to his left. He says, "I'm just going to," and he moves this way.
As you begin to move forward and you feel it move across, you recall a time where in a workshop you were working on an edge of the case. You wanted to know not the center of the matter, but the edges of the matter. But unfortunately, you realized that in your pursuit, you ran ahead of the rest and found yourself adrift and alone and out of sync with the rest. And you get shunted out of the piece for 10 damage.
Oh. Okay. What? Okay, now I'm completely lost. So when I was in that space, was I standing on top of it, or
It's surrounded around. It's like you. Whereas the other things are solid and you can't really walk into them. These things, when you walk into the square, the pillar arrives like an electric storm around you, with the letter repeating over and over and over around you.
Okay, wait. Let me try that again.
It forms around you.
And he's just gonna like sort of push it for. He's not gonna try to enter the next space. He's just gonna try to will it to go forward.
Though I tried to push forward and I worked on the wings, I found that gambit served me not, for all it did was mislead me and the rest of us. You take 10 damage as you're flung out of the piece again.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Now that you've interacted with the side of it, you can see there's a faint outline across all these squares, like a circle that you can sort of see. You see the you can't quite see the letters, but you can see that something is there in each of those squares.
Okay, well, there's something here. There's something in those two lines. What about here?
Nothing. It's just you step in and nothing happens. You're standing on crystal.
Can I try to pull this one? Oh, it's very big.
It's like trying to pull a mountain. It feels way heavier than its size would allow.
I might be being dumb, but I'm going to enter this one.
This piece arrives around you.
Because this is the mirror image of the one that he said would probably be the opening piece. And then I'm going to try and move forward.
How far?
Let's go 1 square.
Though we were at the forefront of our research, I knew that we had started too timid. No, we would make no progress this way. You get shunted out and take 10 damage.
Ouch. I'm gonna try it again, only this time move forward 2.
Yes, our progress was complete. The first stage of it all began. This is where our story began. And you see a storm snap into being around more, and then more just slides across the ground. And then the field kind of flickers, and you notice the circle's on the ground. More, you get the feeling you can step out if you want. And actually, you notice, as you're stepping out, One of the pieces, I'm glad Zevin moved. One of the pieces just drags itself across the board with a loud sound of stone and steel scraping against copper and crystal. It is loud.
Then perhaps Lucius will walk over to... This is the R piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll step into that spot.
You are able to step into it. Whoops. I disappeared you. Sorry. You're coming back. Don't worry.
He's
Everything's
dead.
fine. Oop.
Okay, and he'll try to push himself forward all the way to here.
Why, oh why, would I risk myself, the leader of all? I am the leader, not the one to take the fall. 10 damage as you're thrown forward.
Don't. You know what? I think I'm good. I'm... And Lucius just sits down.
He's got some boo-boos.
You look
I was
nice
never
and
good at-
fried.
And Lucius is just gonna sit there and he's gonna try and puzzle over this game and try to figure out what the proper moves are. Because clearly this board wants a specific set of moves.
Insight, willpower, opposed. I would say. Well, sorry, insight is what I'm going to be spent. Oh no, willpower is the one I'm going to invoke. That's the more important one to what's going on.
In which case, I will invoke my insight, which is fine.
It works out anyway.
I'll do interrogate because those are the stats. Come on. Oh.
Where's my
Oh. That's
Years of academy training wasted.
wasted.
Ah, that's what I was looking for.
Academy
melons.
training wasted.
Oh no, computer. No, don't do that. Oh god, you critically failed. Doesn't matter what I roll, sorry.
Yeah.
I'd have to fail right with you. Well, on the plus side, that's a fumble. So, plus side, I get an opportunity. You gain 1 Fabula point. Here you go. Have one. That's your reward for
Very
failure.
big compared to him.
Oh my god.
Actually, I can deal it to you. What am I doing? There you go.
Oh man. I think Lucius is gonna need to sit this one out.
You
Your head doing okay?
notice that as you're sitting there, Lucius, and you're pondering, and you're thinking, kind of feel at your book bag, kind of like trying to calm yourself down, because it's a nice comforting thing to touch for a lore master, even a low one, a level 1 one. It's like, it's a nice thing. Like, my book, so later I'll get to read these, and you feel at it, and you notice that it's a charred husk of what it once was. Those books are
Oh,
gone.
did I lose all my books?
Yep.
Ah.
You seem, whatever focus you had kind of gets broken for a second because you're very distraught for a half moment of, aw, those are all gone.
He's kind of pulling out his books. I'm gonna pull out my tomes my technical diagrams. I'm gonna slap him down on the floor, try to figure out how this thing works. See if I can back end it.
Insight.
I'll take a double insight, sure.
This is an open roll, I suppose. I'm not rolling against you. You're figuring out how it works.
Can I assist?
Certainly.
Lucius is just moping.
Maybe we can
Just
get second
moping
copies,
in
go
the
back.
corner.
Say hi to the robot if you see him.
I am apparently not helpful.
17's a good roll, thankfully.
A really good roll.
Yeah. So, this, you recognize this as a puzzle of intellect. It's trying to get you to recreate a specific game, and that's the lock that opens the door. That's how this works. Basically, and since you got 17, I'll even go further. Each of the pieces, every time you enter a piece that is not you can't legally move, it will shove you out to prevent like errors. Like someone might stumble into a piece they didn't mean to go into, and it'll just shut you out. If you go into a piece that legally can move, and you move and it's the wrong move, that's when you take damage. And then the other side, of the board basically does a sort of counter, a call and response. So based on a certain type of move that the other side is doing, it's letting you know it's this opening, not that opening, sort of thing. Also, given what you've heard, like the book doesn't tell you this, but it's your own intellect helping you here. You recognize that, you recognize that likely, I don't think anyone voiced what they experienced, but those who were in the pieces and were shunted out of them, they would have experienced visions of the paths that are considered not valid. Because this is also a training tool for the scholars. In the Sultanate, they do a similar thing for the Highborn, but it's a different game. But same idea.
Okay.
All right, boyo, on your feet. I guess.
But we have no idea what this game wants.
Well, he wants to challenge us. You're the only one here who's done any like strategy, whatever.
Right. He wants us to recreate a specific stratagem in this king's game. But the question is, which one? There are endless possible tactical. And he looks at it again. Do I get from the like little bits of vocalization that he's gotten in his head, does he have any idea as to what this game is looking for? Oh no, I already tried that and I fumbled.
What were you trying to do?
You were trying
No,
to
I
read
feel
the
like
other
that's
the
what I
other
was
side of the
trying
pieces.
to do.
Try to understand.
I feel like that's what I was
he
trying to
doing
do with the
first.
insight willpower. Was I was trying to puzzle out exactly what tactic it's looking for.
I will tell you, since you are a hero, that, and from your experience, you don't want to do something from the wings. You don't want to do it from. You don't want to start from the sides.
Right.
I have a question.
I might have.
I wonder if there is a compendium of famous games in that library.
For 2 inventory points, one of you could have grabbed it out of sheer curiosity.
Sure, I'll spend 2 inventory points.
I mean, it would be one thing if this game was, like, mostly complete. And we just had to puzzle out the last few moves, but oh boy.
You do find a book of the King's Game, and you, oh god, computer, no. You, computer. I'll let you do a new roll to try to figure out what this game's trying to get you to do. With a +1 because you have a book that helps you learn it. That helps you figure out a variety of games. So I'll call willpower for part of it.
All right. More leads. We all pitch in.
I'd be okay with double willpower on this.
As you're trying to play not the game, but the player. Because the King's Game is not played by machines, it's played by souls. So to assist will be willpower.
My low stat. I forgot to put the modifier. Anyways, doesn't work.
Nope.
Oh shoot, I forgot to put the modifier as well. So it's 15 plus modifier.
So 16.
Yay.
You figure that this board wants you to recreate a game known as the Immortal Draw. As at first, in answer to the central press, there is the press in return of opposition. Then new experts must leap forth to explore new horizons. In return, those of the spiritual realm challenge those who would brave the new frontiers. Those mavericks step forth to threaten the spiritual leaders. In response, the leaders ignore and begin chipping away at the progress of those who worked so hard, threatening the very leader who was standing so far back in his safety. Now, forced against his will to fight, he steps forward and slays the foe that would be the church that would stand against his wishes. The great empire that was sends its greatest general. Oops, those are backwards. Oop. The leader sidesteps the threat, hoping to press forward, even if they have to do it on their own, in their own arrogance. They think victory is assured. The general chases them across the world, pursuing them no matter where they present themselves. Now trapped, the general summons more forces to threaten the progress that they achieved. The leader seems to flee, heedless of the great many minds that were around them. The general chips away further at their progress. The leader begins to flee, continues to flee, and is being cornered by his pursuers. The leader is able to open forth a portal to effect his escape. And the one who ventured forth into bravery pushed down by the general. The leader, seeing this, arrogantly routs the general from the field, thinking that it has gained greatness. However, those that were summoned to the field threaten the leader, who continues his flight and is continually chased. He fights on alone, ignoring the army behind him once more. It's as if the entire world arrays against him. But finally, a spiritualist of light steps forward and joins the side of the leader. Though he cries out and says that there is not but defeat before them, the spiritualist says that there is a great many things one can achieve. Through their power, they force those that would oppose this to defend themselves. But sadly, the spiritualist gets too brave and forgets themselves. Surprisingly, they are not immediately captured. Instead, the leader is the focus of the attack. The leader steps aside once more, trying his best to preserve himself, losing their spiritualist friend. They take their vengeance, and then the church that was threatened again, again, and again, until all progress, all dreams are halted, yet remain undefeated. After reenacting the game, 2 more doors open.
The ones to the left and right.
Yep.
I shall clap for more because they did an excellent job. Otherwise, I would be tiny forever, and then I would never be able to drive my train.
Speaking of,
Yeah, as Lucius pulls himself up, I am going to spend 2 inventory points to take out a potion and drink it.
He took a fair amount of damage.
Because I'm also
got
in
that kind of
crisis.
sizzly smell. He's got that charred.
Because I'd been in crisis for a bit there. Ow.
They seemed very stubborn, says Alexander offhandedly.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know anything about that. Let's keep moving. I never want to look at a board like this ever again.
Years of academy training.
Wasted!
Do you all begin to explore this floor?
Yep.
Sure.
Oh, boy.
You find that there are similar games in the various other rooms here. And though they don't seem to lock you in as such, you do see that there seems to be, on the walls, there seems to be diagrams indicating various moves and stratagems and tactics. And as you progress further, you notice that these other rooms seem to speak of, if I can get the words in front of me, that'd be awesome.
Oh, would we have found the solution to the game if we had just gone through the rest of the tower? God damn it.
Puzzles for toddlers, folks. And so should we are the toddlers.
It speaks of the king and the queen the tower and the signifier, the knight and the foot soldiers, as various metaphors for the great powers and how the great king's game belies not but the intentions of nations, but the intentions of gods and the cosmic forces of the universe. You continue exploring the floor.
A little bit overblown for a board game. I suppose.
I never really had time to play board games.
And in time, you find yourself back to the room you started in. After finding that some of the precursor pieces, they started using some of these pieces as there are various automata that in the precursor language they then translated into the various automata that they had in the world. The game expanded beyond them. So, for example, the thing you saw earlier, a soldier class, was a foot soldier. They're a pedis or pedo, a foot. But there are far greater opponents that were built. Although I will say to Zevin that the greatest you've ever seen is the pedo model, the foot model, except sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. There's a tower model that just recently got built, you heard, but you've never seen one unless you've been to the capital.
And I wouldn't let me near anything like that.
Yeah, you've heard rumors of such things, but beyond that, you don't know.
Don't have the academia credit for it. Alright. Onwards.
Onwards and upwards through the portal of white.
Onwards it is.
Yep.
Oh god, off the port he goes. Gone forever. Damn.
Oh no.
And as you step into the saucer of light and elevated with a rocket of speed, the pieces fade to be played once more and reenact that which froze all time. The four of you ascend into silence. Not a wind, not a whisper. Naught but light. And bounded by contraptions of metal and crystal, of copper and tin.
What are these things?
Is that a
And I
jester?
will move a little closer and examine them.
As you move closer, a ghostly form seems to form out of it, sparking electricity and light. And in its face, you can see a person in long vestment and robe, with a monocle gleaming, arms folded, hand in hand. They look to you and say... They say something in that precursor tongue that you've heard Lucius mimicking at. But you understand it. All of you understand it within your soul. Release us. Free us from our torment. Let us not suffer further anymore. Let us out this shard and forgive us our sins.
How did we free you?
gather our forms upon the saucer white, and as you ascend, so too shall we ascend into the sky.
Hmm.
By forms, you mean... And I will kind of gesture at the
The
gesture-like things I'm seeing.
our tangled bodies, yes.
How big are they?
Each would probably be enough to fill a hope chest. A big jumble of metal. Quite heavy. Each of you could probably carry one at a time by yourself, maybe.
And I mean, how many could they all fit on a platform?
If you took them one by one, you could eventually ferry them onto it. It would just take time.
I'll give it a try.
So you load one on?
Mhm.
Okay, one lays there, and they say, "Your compassion shall never be punished."
You want me, Lucius Avantis, to do manual labor?
I mean, or you could sit around while I do it and waste time.
Wait,
That's
wait.
great.
Your
I'll
lordship,
get to it.
have you ever worked a day in your life?
Yes. I did a lot of work around those barracks. Keeping track of stocks, making sure that the paperwork was all done in a timely and orderly manner. It's a lot of work.
I mean, with your hands.
I'm gonna try to move this one in the meantime.
Yeah, that stuff. You carry stuff.
That's what Vibius and Umbranius are for.
Ah! No! No, don't do it! Don't do it!
Yeah.
And then the ghost vanishes.
Which one?
This one. Zevin, you
Don't-
walk up to one, and before you appears an elderly man with some sort of strange hat upon his head. He's holding a staff in his hand, in one of his hands, and he looks down at you. He towers over you. If you free me,
like that one?
if you free me, as you did the other, and I ascend, so too will your wisdom ascend.
Huh. Okay, spooky box. I'm gonna pick up the spooky box.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how it works.
You grab up
My
this big
character.
jumble of crystal and tin and copper, and kind of it almost seems to form into your arms so you can carry it, but it is an awkward, cumbersome thing. You're able to move it if you want.
I will move back towards this one and ask why it is so alarmed.
No!
What's the matter?
Don't do it! No! Give
Don't-
me. I'll call for willpower for
What?
part of it.
I'll go double willpower. It's like trying to calm this person down through force of will.
Yeah.
11's decent, I guess.
What? What did you say?
Why are you so upset?
They trapped me. They trapped us all. Don't let them do it. You can't let them get away with it.
How do we free you?
You don't. You can't.
You're in the box?
I am. I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did. I just know it's wrong. I just know it's wrong. It's wrong. You can't let them get away with it.
Well, they're
Who are
talking
they?
Them! And he gestures to all the other things around you.
Lucius is going to approach this one here. Just sort of lean in skeptically.
This one comes into being a dark shadow. A void. As if you think maybe perhaps something is wrong. Maybe it's not, this one doesn't work properly. But instead, you see yourself gazing back at you. Except it isn't you. The face is familiar, but he's a little too tall, a little too clever, a little too proud of himself, a little older than you. Into shadows he fades.
I like this one.
Free me, and without rivals, you will be. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to any of them. Lies. They're all liars.
Lucius is gonna try and puzzle this out. He's hearing from there's this one. Has he heard what all of them have said thus
Oh yeah,
far?
this guy's especially loud. Like this one was
Okay.
shouting.
Alright, time to label it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lucius
Insight.
basically. Here's what Lucius is going to do. He
Hmm.
stands in the middle of the room and like hearing all of these, voices talking and trying to talk to each other. He lets everything fade around from him, and like yet again, he is standing in the middle of the grand assembly, trying to parse out the voices and figure out people's intentions. Who's trying to manipulate who's trying to backstab who's trying to get ahead.
Willpower. I will change my answer.
In that case, insight. I think this is literally the purpose of interrogate, getting information from someone during a conversation. I am. Hang on. I'm gonna spend a Fabula point and just re-roll all of that.
What trait, good sir?
Let me look at my traits. Sure, I've got something. Trying to remember where the so the trait is where are the traits?
It's labeled traits. It's at the top. You were just there.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's either my theme ambition or I'm implying that origin, the noble republic of Coriastellum. I'm treating this as though I'm in the grand assembly with all the politicking and the.
I'll take that because I thought that's what you were doing. I thought you were just setting up your a trait to fire.
Yeah. That's how I'm Yep. Okay, let me just completely re-roll that because that was garbage.
Hot garbage. No.
Wow.
I mean, that's better than that's at least 7.
It's at least 7.
I can say something.
Darkling from the water temple.
Somebody has to be lying to you. And there is an agenda here to deceive you.
You take this
Wait.
box and I'm gonna put it back.
Yeah, as I was gonna say, as you know, as presumably one of them is picking up the next box, Lucius says, "Wait, there's deception afoot."
I
I've
told
seen-
you! Says Scream. Because Vor's still next to that one. No, don't listen to him!
For all I know, it could be that one. And he points at the screaming box. But someone here isn't being honest.
Is it not you not being honest with yourself? Forgetting your ambitions?
Should I wake up all the boxes?
I think that would be... That could help, but it could also be more troublesome. Lucius is going to walk over to this one.
In this form, you see what appears to be a person who is in a sort of light robe, barely covering their body. Their eyes open, and you can see the entire sky in their eyes. The clouds moving in the blue hue. And they sigh, say unto you, our only salvation from the Vismagus curse is our destruction by the sphere of annihilation. That which trapped us here. That which dooms us here.
Well, that didn't help. Lucius just steps back into the middle of the room.
So thingy that trapped him in there. Is that legal? Can people do that?
I don't know, that sounds pretty illegal to me.
I suppose anything's legal unless you get caught. Maybe that's what they're doing in here.
I'm starting to think that bringing any of these onto the next lift is probably a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and
Oh? What you want for that Fabula? Oh, that's the one you spent earlier.
it's the one I had to spend.
Doop. I have to track those because the minute you
Yep.
spend matters XP.
Yep, precisely.
Like screaming.
Ah!
God.
Yeah. You did the thing. Okay. You got any idea what that guy over there was saying about the sphere of?
Sphere. The sphere. No. It'll take you too. Don't do it. But you can't let them keep it. You can't. So many others. They'll never stop. They'll just keep going.
Okay.
So, calm down. Let's be right here. I don't even know what you're talking about. But, okay, let's start from the beginning.
Willpower. Get him to tell you.
All right, I think this is willpower.
Okay. Because he rants and raves at you, and you're like, stay on track.
Maybe Dex and willpower for a captivate check. I'm just gonna snap my fingers occasionally to keep him back on track.
Focus.
Hey, it's your side of the equation. I just know half of it's willpower.
That's a full Dex and half willpower.
It takes a bit. He meanders and wanders sometimes. The short story, I won't scream the entirety of it because it takes a bit. But eventually, you're able to get out of him that he's not precisely sure where it is, but he does know it was stored with the Guardian above, is what he says. The Tower of the Tower. And then he rambles and gibbers and goes off onto another point. And every time you bring him around to it, he just repeats that. The Guardian above, the Tower of the Tower.
I'm gonna get a pat the top of the box. There.
there. I say we don't trust any of them.
Is that par for the course where you came from, or?
Oh, believe you me, the politicking in the in the Grand Assembly of the Noble Republic of Coriostellum is much, much more cutthroat.
Gets worse.
Oh no, this music.
Throughout the entire floor, you can hear the distant chanting of spells and rituals. And in between, the screaming, the endless screaming, echoing from a distance.
Lucius just winces, looks at Alexander, and says, I don't think I want to be here anymore. I think I should have just stayed on the train. Why didn't I just stay on the train? He's just sort of rubbing his eyes. Vibius and Umbrenius got to stay on the train. Why didn't I stay on the train?
What does
More.
this one say?
Before you appears a ghostly apparition of a man with a tall, narrow hat, a sash across his body, a metal armor beneath him, a Magitech cannon in hand, and he points at you. Release me now, or I will hunt you down.
I back up away from him. Does he disappear?
He vanishes. You sense intense malice emanating from the metal and crystal.
Okay, not that one. Okay, we'll investigate this one, I guess.
Oh, no, not that one. Wrong guy. This one. You see a hunchbacked woman, almost as tall as you are, except for the fact that she hunches over a bit. Dressed in some sort of ivory vestment, and is leaning heavily upon a cane. And she kind of adjusts spectacles up her nose and kind of peers at you. Mm-hmm. Hello? Are you hurt?
Hello? No?
Good.
Well, mildly, but
You are? She waves her hand in front of her, in front of you, and then your HP is restored.
oh, thank you.
It's nothing. All in a witch's work.
Oh, what type of witch are you?
I'm a witch of the light, dear. Spirits that within and without, high above and in the very planet beneath our feet.
How did you come to be here?
I work here. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
There's quite a few of you in this room.
I don't think all of them work here. Specifically that one. Maybe that one. What else that one?
They have the honor to meet here. They have the honor to work here. To save the world.
What are they saving the world from?
The end, dear. The very end. The spirit is willing, but the flesh renders into rot.
So, you're saying you ended up like this willingly?
Of course. It is the only way.
What happens if the rest of them are released?
Then to the world they shall proselytize. To the world it will guide. And in time, save it. Even from itself.
That's all I could think of when you said that.
Isn't that nice, dear?
Even the screaming one?
Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the will to act in the face of impending doom. Though unwilling in spirit, he is of the world. If it is between the destruction and its salvation, then the spirit shall always save the world. It has no choice.
What is it that? Guys, does that sound vaguely ominous to you, or?
I, I wouldn't say so. There was nothing vague about that. That was just ominous.
What form does this end take?
Magic unleashed, unshackled, ripping apart the world, its monsters looming, chewing apart cities. And then, when all seems lost, and despair pulls the world united, the mountains will light a fire, and the very stars will fall down.
You know, I changed my mind. I think I would have preferred the vagueness. So, whatever up there is, pretty bad then.
And is what would cause this end further up in the tower?
Well, no. It is the sphere of annihilation, the destroyer of everything, the binder of spirits. Our greatest creation.
Guys, I don't think this is a good thing.
A good thing?
I don't think this is a good thing.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, you don't? Yeah! You know what? As in your words from a bit earlier, finally we agree on something. Sounds like a terrible thing. Why do we want to go up there again?
I got good news. I got bad news. The good news is I think we can walk out of here at any time. The bad news is this place is on the map now. If we don't investigate this place, the academia will.
Ooh.
It's not
As
even
much as
that
I
far from a rail. We just saw it off the train, Alexander points out to you, reminding you that you literally saw it over his shoulder as you're on the rails.
Lucia says, "Ooh, as much as I hate to admit it, you are both very right."
I will
It should-
move down and talk to this one bit.
On the floor, you see that, unlike the others who stood tall in front of you or hunched over as they were, this one is upon the floor, bowing their head low, kowtowing to you, tapping their forehead into the floor. Release me and I'll be your servant forever. Please release me. I'll do whatever you want. Just release me from here. Let me out. Let me out.
You see, when I first walked into this room, I probably would have taken him up on that offer, but after all of this, nope, nope, nope. I don't even know why I'm doing this. And he walks over to this guy.
Freeze frame. 1 second.
I bet you're wondering how I got here.
There we go. I came back. I messed with the wires trying to clear something up, and I hit the video feed, so I just froze suddenly. That's mystery. Ooh, that's a hint or something. Called technical issues. You walk up to this guy, you say?
Yep.
Here you see in form, a young man, a young lady, I should say. A young lady, covered in some sort of work clothes, a large sack of whatsits, strapped over their shoulder, and gives you a big beaming smile. Hi. What you want, Fancy Pants?
Well, I'll say this. I think this is the first one of these that's asked me what I want, which, honestly, makes it a cut above the others.
I'm a cut above the rest, best there is. Something broken? Something need fixing? Got a heartbreak? Broken foot? Broken voice? Broken head?
Are you some kind of a doctor?
No, more useful than that. I'm an alchemist. Can't you tell? Jeez, you must be getting old.
Excuse you?
Only old people wear fancy cloaks like that. Are you afraid of getting cold?
And he just
I think what
skulks
he's
away.
trying to say is most of these guys seem a little off. You're probably the most normal. You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm great. You? Anything broken with you? What's wrong with your ears?
Oh, no. Just how they are.
Oh. Okay. Can you hear better? I whisper, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Why are
You
we
know-
whispering?
I don't know.
Lucius standing in the middle of this room. I'm starting to get the feeling that there's no great puzzle to this one. I think we should just go.
Can we get him out of the? Can we get this one out of the box? These two? These don't seem nice.
I suppose.
Hmm.
Duncan awakes another one.
Hmm. Yes.
Of this one appears a rather squat individual, but shorter than you by far, but wider still. Their face seeming chiseled and hardened, but their eyes kind, and their clothes simple, as they seem to have a satchel at their side on one side and some sort of sword on the other. Hello. Are you lost?
Hi. No. At least I don't think so.
Oh. Well, that's good. What can I do you for?
I'm hoping you can help me understand how you all came to be here a bit.
All that then? I don't know. I mean, came here, said my highs, said they were gonna do a thing with my spirit box. And then next thing to know, I'm here. They were quite surprised it worked, apparently. So, special me, I guess. They didn't ask me about it though, so don't much appreciate being poked at without being asked first, Mighty mean, no? Enough about me. Don't do any experiments. Bad for you. Or unless you like sitting around in a pile for a while.
Who did this experiment?
Oh, the fancy people in the coats, in their staves. And the witches. Ugh. I was told by my ma, always trust the witch. Well, don't trust these ones. They're mad, I tell you. Mad. Or rude, either way. I don't know which is worse, really. Maybe a bit of both.
Have you heard of this sphere of annihilation, I think they called it?
Oh, some sort of magical what's-it. They use for their experiments. Never got to see. No, I saw it, and then there was a flash of light. Oh, did they throw me in there? That doesn't seem right. I'd be annihilated, wouldn't I? I am annihilated. Well, no, I'm here, though.
What if they weren't fully annihilated?
What if I wasn't fully annihilated? That makes sense. Wait a minute, no it doesn't. Well, yes it does. Wait. Yes. Ah. Sorry, I'm rambling. You said something?
Thank you for talking with me.
Of course.
I think we're gonna need to look at the sphere thing before we can figure out if we can get anyone out of the box.
Maybe I'll talk with this one.
From the tangle arises a ghost of the tangle itself. A purplish, cloudish aura emanating away from it. Its tiny crystalline eyes stare into you, within you. Cursed. 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 He gets louder and louder and louder, and the word cursed begins to echo in the chanting throughout the floor. Cursed.
I back up.
And the volume slowly echoes away.
It's normal.
This last one can't be that worse than...
And in this form, you see a long-eared and bright-eyed individual. They are dressed in very practical clothes, but you notice they have various pins of rank of some sort of badges of office or achievement, medallions. It's hard to tell without knowing the culture very much. But one stands out. It appears to be a shard of metal that is in the shape of the tower you're currently standing in. Hello. Oh. You're late for the experiments. If you wish to become one of the chosen, I'm afraid you're too late.
Good.
Oh. What are you doing here, then?
He looks around at the others and says, "Building inspector."
You're a terrible liar, young man. You don't wear our pins, you see, and you're no man of the Empire. Your accent's all wrong. Your clothes are shabby.
Excuse you.
I would not advise fighting me, young man. You will die. Know your place. But I am magnanimous. I am not here to kill you. That is not my goal, not my mission. But what do you want, oh building inspector?
His eyes are twitching. How do we find the spear?
You go through the elevator and go up.
Great. And he turns around. These are the finest silks from the Mankia spiders of the Solibus jungles.
You notice he doesn't fade away when you step away.
Finest silks!
Silks you did not earn. Silks that were gifted to you. You fought for nothing, whelp. You sacrificed nothing. And in the end, you will die for nothing.
Shut up, shut up.
Oh, this one could move.
How is this one moving? How is this one moving?
You notice that the metallic shards have all assembled up where the crystalline eyes appear where his eyes are. The wires seem to form the outline of his body. Huge shards of metal sweep away from his body into his claw-like hands. And he seems to be, and all the jumble of metal and wire and crystal seems to be floating along, following after his ghost.
Oh, this one's special.
Do you even know what I am, whelp? Do you understand what you are toying with?
Lucius looks him up and down and says, "I'm toying with an echo of a man that's no less arrogant than I am."
Except I have more power than you. Purpose. Maybe one day you'll find yours. Apprentice. Walks back to his spot, and he tumbles back into his jumble of metal and crystal.
I will walk up to him and ask him what his purpose is.
Unlike the others, whenever you approach them, they form into being. This one chooses not to stir at all.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Interesting.
And Lucius is going to start walking towards the exit. Unless someone wants to stop him.
I think as much as I like some of these people and I think they should be out of here, I don't know how to get them free. until we investigate it, and I don't. Yeah.
So up the elevator you all go.
Stupid boxes. Know the first thing about me.
The screaming gets distant as you ascend, and we interlude briefly to far outside the tower as a group of brigands hide in mountains and hills, staring. They look over to the train, chuckle among themselves. Then they look over to the tower. One of them says to the other, "These fools are going to get the treasure for us, and then we can kill them while they're exhausted and take it. This is going to be great." I don't know, they do own a train. I mean, one of them looked like a big scary knight. Oh, come on, there's more of us, and like, what, 4 of them? Well, 3 of them? How do you count 3? Have you lost count? Well, one's like in a fancy pants, like, Corostillum thing. I don't know, he might be some sort of mage or something. We'll focus on him first. Oh no, we could take him hostage, and that's when a sword of black and shadow rests on his shoulder. Glints of starlight emanate from it. And a voice says, "Excuse me, gentlemen. Taking hostages is rather rude." And then the screaming began.
Oh no. I assume that means that a villain has revealed themselves.
Atop a tower. You see before you that you are at the very top of the alabaster tower, piercing through clouds. They form and ripple around you. The night air crisp and cool against your skin. You see small, tiny lanterns of light glowing along the edges in a light purple light. But towering before all of you is a great automata, dark in its light. A watch face ticking away.
Just for safety's sake, I'm gonna quietly draw my weapon.
Billowing clouds of purple and starlight pour out from its every seam, and on its clock face, a silvery globe reflects the stars, your faces, and for a brief moment you think indeed your soul. It clicks to life and screeches into the night. And the very lanterns that surround you begin to animate, float where they are. Annihilation. You shall be reaped. And thus it charges. But that battle will have to wait for next time, as our brave adventurers have seen the Tower of Witchlight and now face that which guards the Sphere of Annihilation. How they will fare and how they will push on will be up to them next time. For all of you watching, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And I will note, apologies for the technical difficulties. For some reason, I've had nothing but audio glitches on my end, but I hope you've enjoyed yourself all the same with these wonderful people. So, hopefully, next time we will see how they fare and continue their adventure. Have a good one.
Bye.
Just pretend the CD's skipping. That's That's what it is. I just realized a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. It will fix itself.